It's now time for the Men's Elimination Chamber match, and it starts off just like the Women's Chamber with two bitter rivals as the match begins with CM Punk and Seth Rollins. And just like Roxanne Perez and Bayley, they begin the match by trading strikes, although things escalate rather quickly as Punk attempts a GDS, although Rollins counters, then he looks for a stomp, but Punk has that scouted too. It's a fast-paced beginning to the match, which doesn't slow down, as Rollins hits Punk with whatever he can muster, and this leaves the straight edge savior on the ropes as Rollins runs across the ring and sends Punk out of the ring and subsequently onto the steel. Then Rollins climbs to the top rope and dives onto Punk with no care whatsoever for his own safety. But to cause as much harm as possible, Rollins sends Punk into one of the pods and just rubs his face against the glass, which causes him to bleed just like at Bad Blood. And once Rollins sends Punk back into the ring, he goes back to the top rope and yet again jumps off the top rope, but this time CM Punk moves, and with this, Punk is now the one to hit any strikes he can think of, and this leaves Rollins stranded in the corner for some vintage Punk offense. Then Punk goes to the top rope, he's going for his elbow drop, yet just like Bayley when she looked for an elbow drop earlier in the night, his opponent moves out of harm's way, and from here, Rollins dominates, but he also does something a certain tribal chief tended to do before his injury at the Rumble, and that's to talk smack, as Rollins berates Punk while beating him down. It seems hopeless for the straight edge savior. He needs help, and help does indeed arrive in the number 3 position, being none other than John Cena. And he looks to start off on the right foot as he immediately looks for an A onto Seth, but the Architect gets out of it, then plants Cena with a pedigree. Everyone hates this, but Big Match John manages to kick out it too. So Rollins looks for a stomp, yet Punk is back up and sends him back first onto the unforgiving steel structure, and that leaves Punk and Cena all alone in the ring. It's the stare down of all stare downs, and Cena demands for Punk to bring it, which he of course does, as they begin going back and forth with neither man seemingly having the advantage. That is until Seth Rollins comes out of nowhere and obliterates Punk with a knee, although he gets caught and locked into the STF. He's got nowhere to go. Will he tap? Well, after what feels like an eternity, Rollins just manages to escape the hold, and with Punk back on his feet, all three men standing still with the number 4 entrant Logan Paul entering the battlefield. And of course, he's as arrogant as ever, which rubs the other 3 superstars the wrong way, as they decide to make a temporary truce to dispose of the Maverick, and that starts with an AA by Big Match John, which is shortly followed up by a stomp by Seth Rollins, and to complete the trilogy, Punk locks in an Anaconda Vice, which makes Paul tap. CM Punk has got revenge for the Royal Rumble, and now it's back to 3, although Cena looks to change that as he locks in another STF onto Rollins, and Punk just simply observes, which is something he can't do for much longer, as the winner of last year's Elimination Chamber, Drew McIntyre, comes out at number 5 and instantly starts swinging at his mortal enemy CM Punk. But whilst they're brawling, we see Seth Rollins nail a buckle bomb onto John Cena before climbing on top of one of the pods. And with Cena seemingly done, Seth leaps off, but he crashes and burns, and because of this, Cena manages to plant him with an AA and subsequently eliminates the former Messiah. It's absolute heartbreak for Rollins, although as he's leaving, he sees a downed Punk and nails him with a stomp before he leaves. The straight edge savior is out, and McIntyre takes full advantage of this as he arrogantly covers Punk and eliminates him. Punk's WrestleMania dreams have been crushed yet again, and with Damian Priest entering the match at number 6, we're now down to 3, and the former El Campeon looks to instantly eliminate the Scottish Warrior for a chokeslam, although he can't connect one, as Drew manages to counter and plant Priest down with a Future Shock DDT, but Priest kicks out, so after Drew takes out Cena, he decides he wants the finishing blow to first land on Damian Priest, so he goes into the corner and lines him up for a Claymore, although Priest counters, then he manages to connect the chokeslam, but Drew kicks out, so Priest looks for one more, although as he's calling for Drew to get up, John Cena comes out of nowhere as both men start to trade strikes, although Priest stands tall in that exchange, but that distraction allows for Drew to nail an air raid crash neck breaker before going back into the corner to put Priest away as he succumbs to not 1, but 2 brutal Claymore kicks, which brings the match down to 2. Will it be Drew versus Cody at WrestleMania? Or will it be John Cena versus the American Nightmare? Well, both men start trading strikes, but the leader of C Nation is getting overwhelmed by Drew's pure brawling abilities. Although just like Cena's moniker, he doesn't give up. But even though his mind won't stay down, his body can only tolerate so much abuse. As Drew starts to get on top and ground and pound Cena, it's becoming uncomfortable to watch, but eventually, Drew relents the punishment and goes to finish the job with a Claymore, although John manages to get out of harm's way as he barely manages to connect an AA, but with an arm draped over the Scotsman, that doesn't do the job. He needs more, yet he can't hit anything more as Drew blocks what could have been the final AA in the match before taking him down with a vicious Claymore. And with that, Drew McIntyre has won. He's gonna face Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania 41, yet it turns out it won't be just a one-on-one match. As with CM Punk's favour and John Cena's political power, both men get inserted in the match, turning it into a fatal four-way. But who would win? Well, that's for you to decide, as if you like this story, I think this might interest you.